Okay, so here's another little extract for you, just to kind of play with. So this one, lots of people wanted bits from Act 5, Scene 2. We've done some of the bits with Osric, but I'd recommend just kind of ranging across that and preparing some other bits. But I'll take this bit from towards the start, or towards the middle even, the start of the actual sword fighting element between Hamlet and Laertes. So for this one, going from give them the foils, young Osric, you know the wager, down to the little aside from Laertes, and yet 'tis almost against my conscience. And same as last time, if I were you, I would have a think about it on your own first, and then I'll run through the extract and point out some features, get you just thinking about the form. You could have a go at them writing up some points to just kind of solidify your ideas. And then I'll do the kind of the little question briefly that follows. Okay, so if you want to stop me now, you can do. If you want me to just kind of talk through it, just keep it going. If you want to not listen, then if this extract comes up in the exam, I'll laugh. Right, okay, so I'm looking at this one, and remember, this is the falling action, the playing right towards the end of it. So there is a sense of kind of Claudius desperately clinging to control. He's in a public space. He's still trying to kind of deceive the court. There's a supposed kind of friendship between him and Hamlet. This is all on a surface level again, nice. This is just play. So you might deal in and around that. The kind of Claudius, the kind of plots, but outwards show of goodwill that goes with it. You would look at Hamlet. He's a changed figure here. Hamlet is far, he's back in control. He is, we see this very literally on stage with his control of the duel, and he is confident. So Hamlet has changed, confident, the madness kind of lifted from him as we move towards it. And you see Laertes as this kind of doubting figure, and in opposition to Hamlet, Laertes' control is gone. So you're looking at that kind of contrast between the two, okay? There are various other bits that we might make mention of here. I wouldn't necessarily make a whole point out of Gertrude, but you could do. We could have a Gertrude point. And the fact that Gertrude here is aligned not with Claudius so much, but with Hamlet. So you've got a kind of changed Gertrude at this point as well, okay? So give them the foils, young Osric. Cousin Hamlet, you know the wager. Well, in Act 4, and again, don't start quoting from elsewhere, but you can kind of build up a little bit of the context. He started referring to Hamlet as just this man. There's a disassociation from him. Claudius here, to create this front, he's back returning cousin Hamlet. There's an outward presentment of kind of closeness between them. So the terms of address are important. The fact that he's kind of engaging with Hamlet, you know the wager. And this recalls the fact that, as Osric has revealed, Claudius is supposedly betting on Hamlet. And Hamlet here, with good grace, he's lacking in kind of arrogance or anything like that. There's a kind of humble nature to Hamlet. Very well, my lord, your grace hath laid the odds on the weaker side. So his comparative here suggests that he's, there is a confidence, but it comes through his kind of humbleness. I will play this game, but I am the weaker of the two participants. So the comparative here is important. And remember, earlier on in the play, again, primarily in Act 4, he's been very kind of brutal towards Claudius. Before being kind of sent off, his language towards Claudius has been unpleasant, and now it's changed again, and you get that more sort of nice term of address in "Be my lord," and again there is a surface level kind of tone of banter and humour here. I do not fear it. I've seen you both. So Claudius's seeming certainty, I do not fear that I'm going to lose. I've seen you both, but since he is bettered, we have therefore odds. So the implication is that, I've bet on you. I think you could win, but I've got even better odds because most other people don't believe that you can. So he's kind of, again, there's a tone of humour coming into it. And alongside this surface level kind of good-natured banter, again, remember dramatic irony at work here. This is too heavy, let me see another. The implication is here, with Laertes' imperative, let me see another. He's choosing his swords, and he's choosing the right sword, the sharpened sword, the unbaited sword. Whereas Hamlet simply accepts the first one he's given. This likes me well, these foils have all the length. So he sort of said, are they all the same length? Am I going to have a distance disadvantage in this supposed kind of game of play? So you get this kind of contrast between the kind of hints at Laertes' immorality and Hamlet's just simple kind of acceptance of the events as they come out. Again, the stage directions become important. Just you are seeing them faced off against each other physically. When it says they prepare to play, you don't want to start talking about the connotations of play necessarily. Just think visually on stage. They are setting up for the duel between them. So the stage direction, placing them in opposition, but again, the audience awareness of those different things. And then you get Claudius again, and all of that kind of supposed support for Hamlet. So set to me the stoops of wine on that table. If Hamlet give the first or second hit, or quit in answer of the third exchange, let all the battlements fire their ordnance. So his imperatives here suggest that he wants to celebrate Hamlet's any potential victory here. Let all the battlements fire their ordnance. It's kind of celebratory. That they're going to kind of drink to Hamlet's better health. He shall drink to his better health, his better breath. And again, through the dramatic irony, we are aware of these assertions of support for Hamlet as false, and you can kind of engage with that. And again, these images of reward. So he's going to throw richer into the cup. He's going to throw richer than that which 4 successive kings in Denmark's crown have worn, a pearl. Now, again, through dramatic irony, we are aware that this is the poison. This pearl that is supposedly kind of more valuable than any pearls in the crown of Denmark is actually the poison. And again, it continues in the same vein. You can pick up various other bits. The cannons to the heavens to earth. Now the king dunks to Hamlet, come begin. So again, it's just all about this kind of celebration of Hamlet's victories and his hope for Hamlet's victory, but we are aware of the differences. And then you get the literal kind of conflicts. Come on, sir. Come, my lord. They're basically saying, I'm ready. That's what their kind of imperatives here imply. They play on stage, and the implication is Hamlet's first hit is slightly dubious. 1, Laertes says, no, you didn't hit me. Judgment, a hit, a very palpable hit. So Osric here cannot deny that Hamlet has sort of taken the hit. It's a very clear one. And again, it then returns, stay, give me drink, Hamlet, this pearl is thine, here's to my health. And you get the stage directions, the sound effects, the seeming celebration, but as you get kind of imperatives, etc., sort of trying to force the cup upon Hamlet through the dramatic irony, we are aware of the true nature of what is going on. The celebration is undermined. And whether Hamlet is potentially aware of what Claudius is doing is a debatable point. But he suggests, I'll play this bout first, set it by a while, come, they play. That he refuses the drink, either through a suspicion or he simply doesn't want it. He's enjoying the bout. He doesn't want to drink during it. So I will play this bout first, set it by a while, come. It's imperative. You've got the modal in there. And willfully or not, Hamlet is defying Claudius. It does undermine Claudius's attempts to control the narrative here at this point. And again, you see it kind of progressing through. Another hit, what say you? A touch, I do confess. Think about this visually on stage. Hamlet, the man who has been wandering around, questioning, reading from books up to this point, is now depicted winning on stage. You don't get it from the just words on the page, but they're fighting, they're dueling on stage. And Hamlet is in control. If he's taken the first 2 points, he's leading the match. We then get kind of, again, Gertrude coming in, aligning with Hamlet, not Claudius. He's fat and scant of breath. Here, Hamlet, take my napkin, rub thy brows. She's not insulting him here. She is genuinely celebrating Hamlet's victory, seeking to support him, in contrast to Claudius. She is seeking to support him here. And ultimately, this realignment with Hamlet leads to her own kind of, you can forgive her through it. It makes her a kind of more moral character at the end, but ultimately it destroys her. And we get kind of Claudius, Gertrude, do not drink. I will, my lord. I pray you pardon me. And again, with the extra, you can talk about the ambiguity. You talk about Claudius as kind of a villain. Do not drink. He's imperative. He orders her not to drink, but he doesn't tell her why. There's no admission of guilt. And you get, like Hamlet, Gertrude defies Claudius. So it's all about Claudius's loss of control. I will, my lord. I pray you pardon me. Now, what motivates this is ambiguous, but it is a defiance of Claudius's will. You get the modal. It's imperative. And Claudius admits, but only as an aside, potentially to Laertes in some versions, but it's only through aside. There is no public admission of guilt from Claudius ever within this. And Hamlet, I dare not drink yet, madam, by and by. Again, he doesn't want to be drunk playing this match. He wants to be in control. He wants all his mental faculties there. And Laertes, moving into this kind of state of doubt, my lord, I will hit him now. And Claudius, his loss of control, I do not think it. The plan is failing. Claudius no longer has faith in the plan. And morally, Laertes at this point does not have the faith in it as well. Hamlet has asked for his forgiveness. He's been gentlemanly towards him, and he's kind of offered it out. So, again, think back through it. Think about how you could kind of place these with the different lines of argument. Visually on stage, Hamlet in control, confident, his actions there, the more subtle defiance of Claudius, but it's there, it's present. Claudius should have, all of these promises of his support for Hamlet are rendered ironic through the dramatic irony. Laertes, as his kind of control gone again, visually on stage, his doubts coming in, and then the way that Gertrude is kind of placed alongside. So you would have your kind of driving lines of argument, and ultimately, as it reaches the kind of climax, the doubts of Laertes and the alignment of Gertrude make them more moral characters, and Claudius's actions leave him dying an ignoble death. one where he still has not admitted his culpability, and this will have to be done through Horatio. And then you could have something like this as your question to go with this. So I won't go through this in massive detail, but you see Hamlet as a soldier here. You see him as an active presence as opposed to elsewhere in the play. And this is significant in terms of his kind of changing characterisation. But you would be able to talk about earlier on in the play, he is a philosopher, but he's also a soldier. At the end of this, the conclusion would be he's both. It depends which moment of the play you look at. Somebody doesn't have to be either a soldier or a philosopher. They can be both, and Hamlet is both in this.